let's continue. So here are the issues. Here is that in the last part I just do things wrong here. So it's very simple. We only need to just do this. Okay, nothing else. Just do this. Okay, but I did it wrong. I just do too many of those things, right? And in the test we also do this. So you might ask, should we just how do we just rebuild the entire libGCC without building the other part with it? So the correct way to do this is let's go to GCC build. Right? Go to the GCC build, and we go aarch64. Go to the GCC phase 2. aarch64, right? Then just remove aarch64 Linux kernel. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Nothing else. Okay. The GCC knows we're gonna just build the library part. We're not gonna build other part with it. Done, right? Just do this. I mean, in the previous visit, this microphone is quite bad. It's just very bad, particularly with the browser. I'm sorry for that. Okay. Whatever. The trimmed part. I'm just trimming the video just simply out the end of the last video. It's done. Okay, nothing wrong with it. Very fast. I want to wait down with it. Set it hider. Upload finished. Published. Tracking found. T-Sun. Make J. All right, done. Now install all the libraries here. Now we have built a aarch64 Linux GNU G++. Oh, not aarch, not aarch, right? So you can just try iostream with it. Right. In the main cout. Hello. Oh no, right? Not this, but this. Okay. Now we can do whatever. All fast. std equals C++23. We should also use you should also be able to use linker, but it cannot find this thing because the reason is that it cannot find the lib64. Right? We just do this like that. Okay, no problem. What are we going to do? Okay, here. What we are going to do is I'm going to try to run this program from one machine to another. Native aarch64. I'm going to test it whether it works. Okay. build. My home Canadian native Firefox GCC native aarch64 64. Alright, we have this executable. This is quite bad with the IO stream bullshit, right? Just IO stream just quite bad. You don't even do anything. You just compile the thing, just 64, 66, right? 64, 60, 66K. So we're gonna go to our Raspberry or Raspberry and just temp whatever. Then what we're going to do is we're gonna run the Raspberry to see whether it works. We're probably not going to work because the C++ standard library might not be a version it requires. Let's just try. Okay, no problem. Okay, so we now run the program here. Let me try just BFD whatever. Yeah, BFD, right? By default it's just BFD. Well, let's just see whether. Actually, it's quite funny, you know. Using BFD actually be smaller than the gold linker here. Right? So we just choose the one which is produce smaller binary. We cannot run it because it's aarch64, right? No problem. Now we're gonna upgrade the compiler here. My compiler is 3 months ago, right? We want to upgrade it, and also so we already have our Canadian compiler. We can just do no. Right, we just go to aarch64. Linux gonna okay. Then you choose GDB. So I think with all the thing here, probably can just port together in newer versions of this compiler. We just do very similar to what we did before. Ninja. Okay, just gfortran whatever. Fortran, update to the Fortran. Okay, what are we gonna do? So we can just build in the full part with libc, but I don't quite want to build libc. Maybe you can do it later. I'm gonna try to see whether just overriding the thing would that be a problem. I hope it won't, but sometimes it will be a problem, right? So we go to Canadian. Okay. Now we'll go to Canadian. Close all the thing here. Go here, go GCC build. Go aarch64 64. Open UTC. To ensure we don't have any installation. Canadian, yeah, I think I should change to a better naming here, right? Next time I'm gonna do that. We don't have that kind of thing here. So what we're gonna do is GDB disable. Okay, alright, disable error. We could just build that to get GDB, but I don't want to build GDB today. Let's just build GDB. GMP. Do the same thing. Actually, the prefix should be in the cross compiler, not the Canadian compiler. Okay. Probably. Oh, we don't need that. We just do this, okay? Make J. So we go build utils, start our build on build utils. But we don't have Python. We cannot just get Python with it. I don't want to waste time on building Python. Right? Just don't care. Just ignore Python here. That's exactly why I don't like Python. This build just adding problems, right? Just adding huge issues. Why do you put Python in the build in here, right? I would rather taking Lua rather than Python. It's much easier to build than Python. Python just don't even support the platforms I care about. Enable Go now. Target. No, it should be host. Target. Prefix. Okay. Don't forget prefix. Check. Okay, no problem. Should be in 5 minutes. We're gonna finish that. Actually, I think we should not just install the thing here, because I also want to upgrade libraries to that machine, right? We don't want just not upgrading libraries. Some building issues. Error. MB wrong. Right? This happens with the W char. Right? With the GCC itself, or the GDC, whatever. The GCC itself. It's actually not the GDC's problem. It's GCC's problem. Let me just check where the MB length is here. MB length in the CPP reference to see which header in the C limits, which means the C limits they have a problem, right? The limit storage. We go across. We go here. The limits. That's just a problem in the with the limits. We go here. It tells us what's the problem, right? Just assume the value is just wrong. It's actually from limit storage. Where's the limit storage? Wasn't limit storage provided by the compiler or something like that? Some issues like this are just very annoying, you know. Oh no, what? MB max. MB long max. Probably need to go to limits. Go to the limits here. Go to the limits to see what's wrong with the thing here. I remember it's just include next whatever mark. Yeah, it should be the GCC's limit storage, right? It's GCC's thing that defines the thing, but I cannot find where the GCC is. Yeah, here. Oh, yeah, GCC provides that. But here it's actually saying we have the problem. We have the problem. Yeah, it's this limits here. Right, the problem is because of this, if I remember correctly. No, it's not this, okay. So in limit.h, it just becomes a recursive call. A recursive to call this file, right? Then you have the problem, syslimits, whatever. Limit.h. Okay, it doesn't know what's the value here, right? So it has recursive call. That's why I think why the GCC just saying, hey, you must provide a 16 here, right? So I probably need to just set a value here to ensure it's correct, but it's still not correct, right? So, which is quite ridiculous. It's just quite ridiculous. It will just try to just recursively include a thing here, right? Okay, let's stop. Do we manually tweak these things around? Just set the value at 16. Because the GCC doesn't know what the MB length is. And glibc doesn't know either, right? glibc, the value is defined by glibc, but glibc assumes that the value is defined by the GCC itself. That creates a cycle here. Now we need to break that cycle by modifying the header. Okay. Wrong with it looks like our break on compilation. Just review it, okay? The largest problem is not whether you're gonna build it slowly. There's all sorts of issues we may encounter. That's the larger problem because anytime we have an issue, we have to recompile entire GCC of being users. That would be very annoying, right? That's very extremely annoying. So yeah, but that's a huge issue. Being used. Thread DB. Quite funny. I'm just stripping the part. It actually becomes smaller, with the video. Okay. Parse nonsense. Then it should be GDB, right? After LD, it should be GDB. Leap code. GDB. 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 I hate GDB. Please no GDB. GDB, yeah, GDB. Let's go strictly. Why? Seriously, why? What's wrong with it? Host. Right? All right, with stripping issues. So just also some craziness with the build here, right? It's also some craziness. Right? Let's strip all of them here. Now we strip aarch64. We can manually strip the thing here, right? Instead of we just manually strip it. Just the issues with stripping. EFE videos. I think no problem, no more issues anyhow. Maybe the other part shouldn't have any binary that needs to strip. All these scripts just want to scripting file. It doesn't have anything here. We don't need to script it. So let's just go back and continue our compilation. GCC, okay. So GCC. Let's just go for our. Okay, go for our native compiler, cross compiler, but we replace all the cross with Canadian. That's what I did, just simply replace cross with Canadian to simplify things here. And we also need to do one thing. It's always we need to set host, right? We need to also set host to be the same as topic. Alright, just sometimes you have these issues, sometimes Not issues, just sometimes you will set that differently, right? I think probably I need to standardize. I think in the future to make just not randomly this or that, right? We just directly compile that. We don't compile libc, or we don't put libc here, because the reason I don't want to put libc here is I want to install the DLLs after our compilation. We just install DLL share libraries with it. Then we're done, right? Just install share libraries. Canadian. I think I should just create a new directory called torch, right? Then here I have host, which is basically a host, right? Which is our native one. We also have aarch64 Linux GNU, which is another native one. Which is which build, right? Which or host system, whatever. Host, right? Just basically mean host. Torch is mean host. Okay, I think probably I should do this. Put a GNU and LVM, right? Probably we're gonna do it later. Now here I'm gonna create native, which is the native we have. Or you can just call it the full name, whatever you say it. Call it native. Yes. Even with native we need to differentiate it with GNU. x86, 64, GNU, right? I think I should next time do this thing here. LVM will be different. I'm going to let's explain it later, but not in this video. In the future videos, to explain the LVM. How to do Canadian compilation with LVM. LTO. They're gonna hate me, right? They're gonna hate me. Please no. issues with GCC. STD in C++. GNU source. Leave sanitizer. ASUN. Go. What? Oh, it should have GDB, right? Go. Linker. OBJ copy. OBJ dump. Elf edit. Read elf. Right. Can sanitize UV. Okay, we've done the building a compiler, right? Building a native compiler for Raspberry Pi. So, gonna just do, we just CBF, okay? It's like what we did before. Actually, what I want is, I want to just put all the files here, not putting the file cell in it, okay? The reason we want to do this is quite different from what I'm going to do later. Is I want to just directly install all the things into that machine, into that particular machine, right? Just install everything with it. Yeah, packet, we just copy this aarch64 Linux GNU to another machine, to the Raspberry Pi. Then we are going to use that Raspberry Pi, install that on that Raspberry Pi. Okay. First, I want to just delete this torch and delete it. We don't need that anymore. Oh, this is quite funny with the Raspberry Pi. Everything is so slow, right? It's just everything is ridiculously slow. When we unzip file, we do XVF, right? We still need to put the little tar here, but we're gonna install here. You install it in the US or local. No. Okay, it's quite opposite. Not find that, which is quite opposite. Not fine. Total XVF, right? It should be total XVF, right? Total XVF. Let me just try it again. I'm going to just create a temp file to ensure I don't have temp or whatever. To try to just unzip it to see what is wrong there. Okay. So, all right, it's still that, right? So, what we need to do is we need to copy all files. We do copy all files, okay, to the US or local. All right, we copy to that, right? Wait down, but I'm not sure that libraries would compile the way we would expect, because the library, the GDC we are using, by using the GCC source might not be the same as the header or whatever on that machine, on this machine. So probably we also need to copy the header files. I never tried that, so I'm going to just try this. I want to try it today. We'll probably not be able to compile. It's very slow, right? Even with IO3, it's very slow. Please stop. Right, we have this. We cannot find the headers we need, right? We cannot find bits that wide, what wise. It's the GDC cannot find it. Which is quite funny, just quite funny, right? So the correct way should be, we also need to copy the header files from the cross torching, from the cross compiler. Bits the what size? Let me check what the bits of what size comes from. Probably comes from the Linux kernel header files, not coming from the torching itself. It's not from the GCC itself, probably. I'm going to check that with Linux kernel header files. So we were just directly porting that, since we are using another different libc to compile this thing here. Although API should be compatible, API might not be compatible, right? So we need to do some tricks to ensure API also be compatible with each other. I think I should just install headers again. Install headers. aarch64. Home, just using our new fancy thing here, right? Home. Install HDR path, right? import here GNU aarch64 Linux GNU, right? Then got headers. Right. I think the reason is because home config file not install headers, but headers install. Okay. So we're gonna check. We're gonna check whether the header file matches. I think the reason is that we did not install header file, but I'm gonna have a check. Maybe we can install that from apt app from the exactly. Bits, not bits. So which means it comes from libc, not coming from the GCC itself, not coming from that. Which means we can we still need to copy headers, from glibc. Raspberry. From the cross compiler, and I have the dev. This what the dev is used for. If some files is missing, we can put it from dev. Yeah, put this copy. We also need to copy this directory, this libc directory. We need to keep. We need to target. We need to just put tar here. Right. Put all the headers here. Linux aarch64 cross aarch64 Linux GNU. Right, we copy that to our Raspberry. Copy here and put it here. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just unzip it, right? Now we have the headers. What do we need? They said we missed base types, right? I don't care. I just copy all the headers. Just override the headers they need. It should work, okay? Local include. Okay, let me just first copy here in the copy include 2 to see whether it is copied in include 2 or it's copied in include or include. No, it's not copied here, which means we need to copy US or local include. Don't put in US other directory. The US or local is that if we have any issues, we can just go here and copy all the files. It's quite funny, it's just quite funny, right? We just put here. Here. Okay, then we remove include, okay? Okay, now we have no having the issue here. C++. Let's just compile it again. I think it should work right now, but we don't know whether you have libraries that don't provide or some other issues. Be careful. Be very careful with it, because anytime you have an installation with particularly the glibc, right? Just it's going to be a whole mess, right? Because this Linux distribution, they just modify it. I don't know why they're doing this. It's just nonsense, right? Now you can see, cannot find ASM. I don't know. Right? no ASM. No ASM. It's ASM generic. It shouldn't be ASM, right? It should have the ASM header. But why we did not install that? Go back to cross. No cross. Torches, right? Put the cross torches. Right, ASM. Why is ASM here kind of no longer exists? Right. And probably just we did not copy a file. Do we have Linux? No, we don't have Linux either. So that's another mistake I made, right? We just copied the headers. We did not copy the Linux kernel header files. That's why we have the issues right now. So I also need to copy the Linux kernel header files with it. So we're gonna cdl again. Okay. Copy it here to here, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter here. All right, just don't do that, okay? Please just directly, don't do things whatever in the Windows itself. Because Windows, the File Explorer is very slow for deleting things right now. Even copying as much of the issue. Sometimes copy is an issue too, but most problems for Windows is coming from here. So remove include two. Okay. All right. We're gonna just copy all the files. Everything to USR local include. Okay, so now it should work. Okay. CRT1, which means we didn't provide CRT. We have no CRT1, CRT. Think mass on derived reference. So we still need to copy some file. Just don't copy the libc itself, the shell libraries. Need to manually copy one by one. Copy all the files we need from the cross torsion. Okay. Not from the Canadian torsion, but from cross torsion, right? Because we have already installed everything with cross. The problems come from the native torsion, the cross torsion here. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter here. It completely doesn't matter. So here the thing here is that it doesn't contain the libs, the Go linker or whatever. I think it probably also have other issues with the .8 libraries. It doesn't contain the .h libraries. Which is quite funny, why cannot find a header, find CRT1? Probably, I think probably because I never installed the native GCC here. Probably I did not do this right. Yeah, build essential is the reason, probably. Is that on that machine I don't have any libraries. It doesn't link to the library. That's why we have so many issues there. So we still need to install the old versions of GCC on it because, right, they probably provide headers, provide CRT zeros, whatever. Let me try what the GCC for. So this, just doing anything is very, very slow on the ARM machine. ARM is quite slow, right? This machine is very slow. We don't care. We don't even care, right? We don't care. We don't care anything with it, right? It makes no sense for us. We're just using the quarter from us, but we don't care about what the compiler provides. I think this is a reason. It's nothing to do with header or whatever. Just we don't install. I did not install an old version of Torch on this machine, right? And the old version of Torch provides the CRT0 and provides all the things here. libc, right? libc, scanning Linux images. Since we just built the C++, the Torch part, we don't provide libc, right? Libc is provided by the Linux distribution. We don't ship libc. That's why here we need to do something else. I think is that if we don't copy libcrypto, we should be able to link it without issues, without kernel panic. But I never tried that. Okay. See whether it works. It's still kind of fine there, CRT there. Let me just restart the console. Restart the console, aarch64 temp. Okay. Oh, it cannot find it. Which means this is something that's quite annoying. We cannot copy libc, right? If we copy any DLLs inside the cross-torching, it will get issues, right? But if we don't, we just won't get compiled. So I think the solution to that particular problem is that we don't build that. We don't build it. We just copy all the thing that is required, copy all the libs, but we don't copy SO. We only copy .a. I think that will work. Okay. So build essential. Lib, right? I'm gonna copy it. Right, we're gonna remove all .so, right? We're gonna remove all the .so here. We don't copy any SO shell libraries, whatever. Whatever .so .star things here, neither. Why? Shell libraries things. All right, I didn't know. I just list some. I never just remove them, right? Right, that's what we need. We also don't. I think we also don't need lib to pick any directory. Whatever, audit, whatever, gcom, LD script. We don't need that. pkgconf. We also don't need that too. Now it should work. Why? The machine is rebooting again. All right. So let me see whether I can fix it from from this side. Let me see whether you can see they're just ridiculous, right? They provide a lot of bullshit, right? The OBJC, GC, whatever. I don't need that, right? I think I can just copy whatever libc from the thing here. But actually, no need for copy anything else. So okay, we'll go back to cross. Just delete bullshit here. It's just shit, you know. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Purge it. Purge G++. Purge GCC. Purge G++. Purge it. Purge all the build essential. Just purge the entire build essential, right? And we're gonna just remove it. We're gonna apt purge auto remove, right? Yeah, just remove all the G process. No need. So we put a native here, right? We just I've said before. I just go here, go cross, no. Right? We don't need even LA file, right? We don't need LA. We just remove leave GMP la, remove PKG, copy. It's in libgmp right now. Right, doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Now we have the thing we need. 64 Linux gonna. We copy all the libs from that to this. So go to the Raspberry. Go here, go aarch64 and tar lib right. We copy all the file here to with cp us star, okay, to us local lib. Okay, we just copy all of them to lib. We don't care about don't copy libcrypt. Okay, the libcrypt. Probably it will contain issues with it. So now it shouldn't have any issues, right? Now here, G++. Oh yeah. Go. Yeah, no issues at all. Huh. It looks like it's issues with gold linker, right? So the gold linker is the issue. Just don't use gold, right? Just don't use gold linker. G++. Yeah. On the reference. Let me see what's wrong here. Don't care about the gold. Just do this. Probably issues with gold. Gold linkers. Get Expo. Okay. I think all the issues just cool down. Huh. Quite funny. Cool down. This is bullshit. This is complete bullshit, right? Just shouldn't just get cooled down. I just compile static when there's issues with deep C. It gets cooled down, just quite funny. It gets cooled down. Okay, Lib Crypto. Why Lib Crypto? Lib Crypt. Not Lib Crypto. It's Lib Crypt. Cooled down. CRT there. So the installation isn't right? CRT1. All the CRT shit. CRT. It also have Python. Python 3. Python. Okay. Leave SSL. Encrypt CRT. BFD. No, we cannot just remove RM, RF, everything, right? I actually never tried how to just avoid copying libc with it, so I think I might understand something wrong. CRT1.A, GCC1.0, broken locale.A, EAML.A, libc.A, libc non-share.A. Let me see what anything else with today. Not BFD plugins. We don't do anything with GCC, but we're going to delete everything with everything else. For example, libgmp, libdl.a, libg.a, libgmp.a, libintertrace.a. So libm.a, libmcheck.a, libopcodes.a. Okay, so okay, just delete everything with, not just randomly delete things. We delete everything with 19, right? And check. Leave pthread.a, leave resolve.a, leave rt.a, leave util.a. Nothing else, okay? Go back to see whether we can compile the thing we need here. Just don't. I think it's actually issues probably with gold linker. I cannot find CRT, which is quite funny. You know, this seems quite funny. CRT.A. LP thread. Whether we can find LP thread. You cannot find LP thread. Probably USR lib. I find it quite funny when cannot find the libs from native protein. Let me just see here whether we can search something from web. Probably something issues with Cicero. Let me see whether we can find nothing here. CRTI. Compiling, try to not compile with CRT. GCC multi-lib. Probably it's GCC multi-lib. Let's just try that shit, right? Try it just doesn't matter. Oh, just try GCC multi-lib, right? I think it's really because some issues. No. Right, this said we have already installed the thing here, right? libc dev bin, libc bin. Okay, I think probably I should do the thing I did before. Yeah, which means we still need libc. We still need libc. Okay, we cannot just ignore libc and do the thing here. It doesn't work, right? It just doesn't work. It just, even with the same shell library, it doesn't work. Or probably because what a version of the libc? It should be libc. Let me try to see what's the version here. Versions. GNU. Features. It should be the features. Okay, so it doesn't find libs. I sound like I should just do what I used to do, right? Not just putting here, because it's just quite messy with the entire build system. It is a whole mess, right? Just a whole mess. So okay, like what I used to do is something like this. I'm gonna just test that after that, but gonna just finish with yeah. So we have the libraries here, right? Then we don't actually install the libraries. Okay, we have the library in the desk. Then we just go to desk. Put all this, with the Canadian compiler. Right, aarch64 is gonna. I'm just gonna copy here. Okay, let me just go back to the Canadian compiler. Now we have all the libraries installed, right? Then we just directly target. Okay, we don't actually need to actually put that in the binary because this thing what I hate about this fucking Linux distribution. I suggest you just to use Linux from scratch if you can, because it's just really bad, right? They add those things that just with all the bullshit, and you just have no idea what's going on, right? These fucking build systems, abstractions, nonsense. Abstraction is bad. It's absolutely crap. There are no zero cost abstraction. So we will go back here. We go back to here. We just copy entire directory. Okay, we don't need to care that bullshit anymore. Just copy aarch64 Linux GNU. Right. We already targeted. So aarch64 Linux GNU. Directly copy here to this machine, to a machine we're running. Then what we can do is very simple. We don't do any installation. We don't do any bullshit. We just call aarch64 Linux GNU here. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this into bash, right? Bash.rc. Right. We had installation. I think it should work right now. If nothing wrong with it, right? I'm gonna first call which. No, we can do that. G++, right? It's here. Now I'm gonna go x6410. Use this G++. We're gonna which G++. No issue, right? It's just no issue at all. No issues at all. No issues at all. Let me see what it's want. No problem, right? It's just quite funny, and this is completely dumb bullshit. It's just completely dumb bullshit. You just assemble all the headers and all the things together, and just what? Right? We don't actually need to install the compiler. Right? Let's just try BFD, right? BFD, which is the standard linker with a thing here. Also work, right? We can try to see what's the linkage it has with LDD. Right. Oh, it links to the shell library we are running in the old shell library, right? It's not running in a new shell library. Let me try to see USR local lib64. Yeah, it runs, no problem, right? It's just linked to the shell libraries we are running and using the operating system's kernels, and then using the distribution, the libc from that stuff, right? No issues. So, yeah, we just copy things. We don't need to do any bullshit. We just copy things and no longer interfere with each other, and it's done. You might ask, what happens if we're using clan, whatever, not clan? What if I have existing libraries on that? The real fact is that GCC is smart enough to know if you're doing native compilation, we will be able to use the library you are using here. So I'm giving an example. For example, I have already have the OpenSSL is installed here, right? Let me just try to see whether OpenSSL or Crypto++, we will find those libraries. Okay, let's just try OpenSSL and just try calculate SHA-500 whatever you use, gold, whatever. I think BFD actually was quite good on. Oh, okay. Basically, if you're using any non-x86-64 architectures, GCC is always best. You know, it always not have all the issues we have. Now we need to give it L crypto, right? Because it's in crypto. SHA-512 to see whether this will work. Now you can see it has no issues. You can find the libraries you're running on your machine. So now we can just LGD it. Right, it's here. It's in the lib crypto here. So it's not an issue, okay? But it's an issue for client. I find it's quite. This client is just. I don't want to say anything with client. It just can calculate the SHA-512 to see, okay, whether it can work correctly. Right, the OpenSSL is quite fast for things like this, you know. It's very fast for things like this. Of course, we be able to try fast IO's implementation of the anarchy here, right? I think I should be able to just upgrade GDC in the future to see why it's a problem. I think the issues probably lies with libcrypt, but this thing is quite a mess. The Linux distribution is just quite a mess, right? No issues. So it's let's just try Crypto++. Okay, this is not relying on OpenSSL. We won't compile OpenSSL. We can also try Crypto++. Okay, you can see it just compiles this file. It's just very slow. Even IO stream is very slow. Think of it. What you can do if you native compile GCC itself. It'll be very slow, right? Crypto.pp. L shit library. L crypto pp. Okay, L crypto pp. Wow, I cannot find the libraries because I did not install it. That's the only reason, right? And this only reason is that I'm just simply not install the libraries on that machine. No such thing. Okay, doesn't have that. Okay, that's the same entire thing here. So we just build a native version with GCC. Yeah, it's quite funny. Why cannot find libraries? Okay, so that's all about the video. It takes a lot of time. It's just longer than what I would expect. But you can think how it works in general, right? You just cross-compile a GCC, like cross-compile GCC itself, then run on another machine. Then you get another machine that runs here, just like me. Then next video we're gonna just very simple, just do a cross-compilation from Windows to this aarch64 Linux build, right? We just have a Windows compiler. Okay, let's see you in the next video.